If I told you in 1983, okay, let's just say we meet somewhere and I say, guys, I got this newspaper from 2021. Casino is going to be everywhere. It's going to be a multi-billion dollar industry. Be patient. It's going to get legal. This whole loan sharking thing you're doing, Michael, that you're charging 25% per month, that's nothing. It's going to become legal. You can do 600% per year if you want to. It's payday loans. They're everywhere. Drugs, don't worry about it, guys. Drugs are going to be legal. There's going to be a lot of ways to make money with drugs. It's the direction we're going. This whole prostitution thing, OnlyFans, we're going to have stuff that's going to be, there's so many ways to make money with that. Be patient with that. Betting, don't worry about it. There's going to be this thing one day called fantasy football, fantasy baseball. It's going to be multi-billion dollar industries where presidents every year are going to pick in fantasy a perfect bracket on who's going to win the NCAA championship. Don't worry about it, guys. This thing's going to be legal. If I would have told you that in 1981, what would you have said to me?
Because I hated the government and I believed they were corrupt, I would have believed it.
Oh, so you would have believed it?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't have believed it?
I wouldn't think that it'd be possible because it's so hard to get so many multiple families, let alone fucking industries. Would the media confer with big tech with the Democratic Party, with this, with Hollywood? Could you get all those people on board? I would think no. Would it happen? Do I think now? I think it happened.
You know why I believe it too, Pat? When OTB came into New York, when the state of New York took over the betting policy for the racetrack, I said, this is the start of it. They finally seen, okay, it was almost like prohibition. People want to gamble. You're not going to stop them from gambling. Same with alcohol.
But now it's illegal.
It's legal.
My uncle in Iran was a bootlegger. Oh my gosh, he's a bootlegger. I was like, oh, that guy's a bootlegger. Guys doing Instagram commercials saying, buy my new tequila, buy my new this. People are becoming billionaires selling their tequila brands.
Listen,
and they're professional legal bootleggers.
I think there was a time when street guys, the mob, we really had it over the government. Prohibition is a perfect example. You can say whatever you want about gangsters. When gangsters are knocking around trying to make $1 here, $1 there, there's nothing there. When you put hundreds of millions of dollars in their pocket, they become an organization. Prohibition is what created the mob in this country. It's what made Cosa Nostra grow in this country, because that's when the money came in.
What do you say to a Sammy or a Michael that says, look, we were doing this, it was illegal then, but a lot of people are using our model today?
They're half right and half wrong. Some of the things they were doing are legal today. Some of the things they were doing are not illegal. It's not illegal to kill anybody, right?
Kane and Michael are walking. This is Godfather 1.
I think I know the one you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
In New Hampshire or Maine or wherever.
The dog runs right by them, and Michael says to Kay, Kay, my father is no different than any other powerful man. Any man with power, like a president or a senator. Kay says, you know how naive you sound. Michael says, why? Kay says, senators and presidents don't have people killed. Michael says, who's being naive, Kay? Right? So, on the flip side of it, Sammy says, look, I was in the Army. If I go in the Army and kill a bad guy, 19 people, I'm a hero. I get I get a badge, I get to say Medal of Honor. What a great soldier, I went and killed people for my country, right? So that's what I did. But on this end, I go do what I'm doing, I'm a criminal, right? So what they're trying to say is politicians do the same thing as they're doing. So they saw themselves as a form of a government, just like the U.S. government did. Who is really being naive, Kay or Michael?
It isn't a matter of being naive, it's a matter of being too romantic about what they're really like. Some of it's true. I mean, some of it is they're doing the same tactics that happen in legitimate businesses. It is true that there's politicians, some who get people killed, and maybe there are presidents who do it also. I would distinguish having people killed because they're terrorists and they're going to come and kill 10 million people. That isn't what they're doing. I mean, if you're talking about presidents who get people killed in wars, it's a little bit different. I mean, did Roosevelt get people killed, or did he have to do it because Japan attacked Pearl Harbor? Mm-hmm. But there may be situations in which presidents have had people killed for political reasons. I don't know. There are people who think there were, people who think there weren't. There's surely a situation where politicians have done it. But they don't do it as part of the business. I mean, their business was if we have to resort to it, we always have it there, which is what often made them successful. I mean, go right back to the beginning. They walked in on the little Italian guy running a bar or a candy store, and they said, you're giving me 20% per week. Why am I doing that? I'm not making much money. Because if you don't, you're not going to have the bar. And then the few that resisted, they smashed up the bar, burned the bar, beat up the guy, beat up his daughter, and then everybody complied. That really isn't the way government operates, except when it's a real aberration. That's the way they operate as a rule. So I think there's a big difference. I think they like to see themselves that way. Makes it easier on your conscience. But it's a very different thing when you're totally devoted to crime or you're totally devoted to something else, and some people commit crimes. I mean, take a police department. I've prosecuted a lot of corrupt police officers, but the police department wasn't corrupt. The whole police department was a group of people that were corrupt. And then you have an opportunity to weed them out, and whatever else you think of the New York City Police Department today, with all the other charges, there's really no substantial corruption in the New York City Police Department anymore, because that wasn't the main mission. Their main mission is to be corrupt, to be dishonest, to make money that way.